Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel and this international break. It's been the longest week in my life and there's still a week to go until United play Nottingham Forest. It's on a Tuesday night, I think that. Am I right with that?
Tuesday night it is.
Tuesday night, I think it's going to be another long week. These international breaks should be banned in my opinion. I'm actually missing the stress of watching Manchester United, can you believe it? But then again, maybe ask me that question in another couple of weeks and it might be a different answer. But how have you been anyway? Spoke to my mum yesterday. Apparently you was in London, was that right?
Yeah, invited down to London, got back last night, had a good break to be honest with you, and a very interesting conversation with many United fans who I was meeting, and it's just the same old conversation, and the main thing is the ground, who's going to own it. That was some of the conversations I've had, but that's been in the news, and obviously the ticket prices, which we've not mentioned on here, so I'm going to mention that on here as we move along. And you know, how can I say it? There's a bit of deceit going on here with this fan advisory board and Omar Barada. And I think the fan advisory board has been had right over, to be honest with you. I think they walked into a trap. That's the conversation, what we've been having. We think it was inevitable. Ticket prices were going up and they walked right into a trap, been had right over.
Are you actually surprised about the ticket price increase? I know we discussed it many months ago, that this is something that we was going to be expecting to happen under Sir Jim Ratcliffe.
I'm surprised that the United fans being surprised. Yes, there's a lot of noise. And I think when any bad news comes out, you seem to see the headlines like angry United fans here, there and everywhere. But I, as a whole, I think United fans like sort of knew it was coming. But there is a bit of anger there. But I am still surprised at some of the people out there what are feigning, as I see it, surprise. Listen, this is the way this club's going. It's all about finances. Given what we've seen since Sir Jim Ratcliffe's come in, the finances are the priority. And I was expecting a price rise. It's not as big as what people were expecting. And then you've got to look back and say, well, why was you surprised? We've not had a price rise for a long time.
I'm not surprised, but I am still angry about it because of the actual football we've been watching this season, and to do it at a time during the season as well, where we're watching the football and the state of play, it does leave a bad taste in my mouth about it all, to be honest with you. If you're watching good football, you're being entertained, so to speak. You know, I think some fans might have took it a bit on the chin, but you know, what we're watching, it's not good.
Look, what you're watching, if you're a season ticket holder, you're forced to watch it whether it's good or bad. You know, you've got to take the rough with the smooth. That's what it's all about. Yes, anger comes into it because there's a lot of anger of what's been going on with the club, with the team, everything else surrounding it. So this is just part of like being angry. It's something to go at because there's not much really. There's not much to shout about from the top of the tree, like, and say, oh, I'm enjoying this, I'm enjoying that. But it's being a football fan. You've got to take the rough with the smooth and, you know, come at the wrong time.
Keith Stitt says, great to see you this evening, lads. Great to see you and everyone else out there getting involved with your own opinions as well, my mate. Breen Irwin says, international break is crap. Stephanie giving a big shout out to us, shout out to you and everyone else out there. Life O'Reilly says, I was more surprised about the season tickets near the dugout being highlighted for hospitality.
I can't believe that them seats near the dugout have lasted that long. I thought soon as the Glazers come in, to be honest with you, for me, that was number one priority to bring in the funds. That should have been done straight away. I just can't believe it's been left so long. So for it to be done now, with the talk of a new stadium and all that, you know, seems funny time. But if you look at what's going to be brought in, and this is what I go back to the conversation what I've had about the fan advisory board in, reports were 20%. That's what they were talking about, raising the ticket prices for season ticket holders and that. And they came to a compromise. There was no compromise there as far as I'm concerned. No compromise whatsoever. They walk right into a trap, go straight in, ask for a ridiculous price as though you're having a conversation, and We want your advice. We want your feedback. That's what Omar Barada's doing. They were never asking for 20%. The goal was, right, to give a bit and then take a bit. And the objective was to change them 500 seats without any fight. And the advisory board gave it up without any fight because they thought they'd won a bit of the action. And the action was, oh, we're not having 20%. That's ridiculous. OK, what's the compromise? Let's have 5%. Well, if that's the case, Omar Barada says, we're going to have them 500 seats. Well, I tell you what, them 500 seats are going to bring in so much money, it's going to be madness because them seats, in my estimation, are worth £700 on a normal day, rising to £1,400. Different price brackets for each game, but the starting price for me is £700. That is going to far outweigh the £2.50 for each season ticket per match. What this is going to rise, it's going to be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds per game, and that's what the goal was. That's what I believe. It was you're talking business. Business people have come in, and they're just playing the game with the fans' advisory board, and they fell into the trap, and they gave away them seats without a fight, and that was the plan. That was the discussion. That's what United fans believe. You out there may not have heard that angle, but that is the discussion. Them seats were the priority for Omar Barada, not the £2.50 for 40, 50,000 people, whatever it is, who hold season tickets, because that is the cash cow, them 500 seats. People from all over the world will want to sit there. Big businesses. I've seen it at other clubs, and they are getting astronomical money for them priority seats behind the dugout at other clubs, and they've just tapped into it, and they were given away without a fight.
Yeah, I've just been reading quite a few comments actually that have been coming up into the chat, and where are we? Let's get a couple reeled off. Daniel says, been fuming at the silence of all the pundits that have been calling for Ruben Amorim to change his system after all the improvement and consistency in the last 5 games. Richard James doing my job, like, share and subscribe. Much appreciated. Everyone can do them 3 things Richard just said. Thanks, Richard. Some man for one man's getting withdrawal symptoms of not seeing Manchester United. It's been a long wait, mate, and it's continuing to feel like every day is dragging as we hopefully get nearer and nearer to that game against Nottingham Forest.
Well, I thought he was going to say he's getting withdrawal systems from not seeing us, but hey, you know, there you go.
I thought about that. Yeah. Just going into the chat again. Ian J. White, thanks for your super chat.
Thank you.
He says, good evening, gentlemen. Can't wait till United play again. Smiley face emoji. The exact same, mate. And just going to go back into the chat again. Simply Dressed says, compare lower leagues to United. I think United's good value for the match day. Even when you look at gigs, concerts, the prices of them.
No, you've got.
You're looking at what you're paying here. No, but again, it's the season what we're having currently.
No, but that's the depression. That's the anger. You've got to take that out. If you look at some of the other clubs in the country, okay, what haven't achieved what United have achieved, and what the statue of the club is. That they've been. Look at Arsenal, for instance. The prices they charge. Tottenham as well. You know, Tottenham have won nothing. You know, yes, it's down south. Up north's a bit different, and that, you know, the cost of living and everything slightly lower. But then again, the wages are. But you're getting value for money, as far as I'm concerned, at these prices. It's down the road. When the new stadium's built, that's what the fear is with other people. The prices will go right up, and the ordinary man will not be able to afford it. Well, the ordinary man, to be honest with you, in my opinion, hasn't been able to afford luxuries like going to football, the game he loves, the game he was brought up, because there's other priorities in life. It's just the way it is. I'm not happy about it. But the working man, the ordinary man like myself, what's grown up as a working class lad, many of them people just can't afford it now. But if you go back each decade, there's always a drop-off from fans and that, and there's many, many different reasons. I go back to when we won the treble in '99. Within 18 months, a lot of people what had grown up around the football, they were falling off because they'd seen everything and won everything, and now people are in a financial strait, and this is just another cost of living, what's going to be added to the ordinary man. Big business is what's going to go on. And that's why I suggest, right, them seats, they were the priority, and they're going to bring in the money. And when you see the cost of what's going to be charged, I think you'll be shocked. I won't be shocked, because they've had their eye on them seats and they've got them with a whimper, really, from the fans, because a lot of people what sit in them seats have had them seats for a long time. But I will tell you this as well. I've known people over the years what have had them seats, and I am telling you, they have sold them seats on for a right good price on certain days and all that. So sympathy for the people what have sat there, but I'm not throwing my lot in to some of the people I've known what have sat in and around that area, right? And they've sold them tickets on and not gone to the game and made a right good profit. Everyone's entitled to make some money, but hey, my full sympathies are not with everyone there. And I'm telling you a fact. A fact.
Facts. You heard it here first, always facts. Richie Club Sports says, Garnacho, since he's switched to the right, is a far better player. He said Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that he's staying along with Kobbie Mainoo on Amarin's say-so.
International break, Fabrizio Romano. Where's the proof? There's no proof there. He's just saying it. Fine. People want to listen to it. And it's a good story. Got to give it that. But, hey, you just don't know what's going to happen here. These are two players what have been talked about for a while now of being sold and bringing money into the football club. And these two players can be replaced. Who with? That's for you to debate, me to worry about, because I'm not too sure who.
Yeah, I just get a feeling, though, in the summer we might see one or two surprises in players leaving from this squad that we might not already think and expect.
I think you've just got to expect that anyone can be sold. I mean, anybody. This is what's going on in the football club. It's raising funds, getting rid of players, replacing them. There's people of the future in the background there, in the youth and everything else like that. And I think we're going to be surprised that who comes into this squad. You know, players being sold and that. You know, we've all moaned about players not being sold at the right time. At the wrong time, players have moved on for poxy money. And the name of the game is raising money, producing players, moving them on at good price. And we've got lots of youngsters there, what we can cash in on. And Ineos, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and all that, they're all about cashing in.
Yeah, just back into the chat. Alan says they don't want season ticket holders. They want day trippers at Manchester United.
Well, listen, they've got to have season ticket holders. And I don't believe that the amount of season ticket holders might be right, but when you go into a 100,000 seat stadium, or if that gets cancelled and the priorities here, there will be a lot more executive seats and all that, because that's where the money is. It's the finances. But that is the way the football is going. You know, in 10 years' time and that, the ordinary man will not be able to afford a season ticket or go there and pay them high premium prices. But I also look at it the other side. There's people who I know, live in Manchester, live right round the country, live abroad, who pick and choose 2 or 3 games, and they're quite happy paying these premium prices. So there's a market for it. The club knows it, and we're going worldwide, because that's what's going to happen in a few years' time. Football is going to be played, the Premier League, as I see it. You will get games abroad and all that. So the premium price is there. It does suit some people. The fact is, people don't like to admit that. There's United fans I've known for years and years, okay, what decide to go 2 or 3 games because their lifestyle doesn't choose it and they don't have season tickets. They may have had them 20, 30 years ago, but they're going to take the kids to 1 or 2 games and they're going to pay the premium prices to sit in comfort and enjoy the day out with the family and that. The market is there, and the market's there from the ordinary fan as well to pay these premium prices. So don't be deluded that there's not a market. There's a market from every background of person, whether it's working class or the upper class who's got all the money, and from companies.
Hey, Aaron from our members club. Thanks for keeping my Sunday night shift going, lads. Hope all's good at work, mate, and you're not working too hard. I am Titanium says, hope you are, Kieran and Tony. We're doing great, mate. Hope you are, and everyone else out there who's watching. Shane Moran, hey, you guys. Just like to say, hey, you guys. It sounded like him off the Goonies, though. Hey, guys, he says. Just like to say, such a fantastic channel. Much respect and appreciation for your channel. Love all the way from Dublin. I like the kind words, mate. Much appreciated. Back into the chat with Breen Irwin as well. He says, use the league for confidence and momentum. The Europa League is a priority. Now, you've made some big statements, I think even going back 6 months ago, and you've kept with it that Europa League is the priority, and you think we are going to win it.
I've always thought the Europa League was the one where we'd succeed in it, and I always thought that the league is the one where we'll have carnage and chaos, and I still think you will get carnage and chaos. I did speak the other day about the 5 games coming up. They're tough games, you know, and if we get beaten and we get beaten, and there's no disgrace in that at the moment on how United are playing football. But the league, I think the league, you will see a little bit of experimenting towards the end of the season. I think some of these players, you're definitely going to see Luke Shaw being given a chance. He's got to show himself, and there's other players than that. And I think there's some young players what will come in. But if we progress beyond Leon, I think you'll see big changes in what's going on in the Premier League. I don't think it will be a priority. We're safe now. That Europa League is the one. It's always been the one for me, and I've been ridiculed for it and everything. But I've already given many times the reasons why I believe, and always have done since the end of September, beginning of October, and that was before Ruben Amorim come in, why we've got a chance of winning that Europa League. And here we are. Here we are now, and I do see people out there, other YouTube channels at the moment going, we can win the Europa League. But the same people who months and months ago were absolutely slating it, slating this team, saying they've no chance, it's embarrassing and everything else. And then you've got the mainstream media who have always piled in on the Europa League. But if you go back, right, anyone wishes to go back, they will see I have been steadfast in it. And my reason is because I do believe that this squad at the start of the season suited European football, and especially the Europa League.
Yeah, I hope we get to the final, because we'll be definitely going. Can't wait.
Cost me a right few quid, but hey, that's life, innit? You know, you've got to deal with it as a dad and a granddad.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, just crack on.
Puts me actually into the chat. Someone called Cracker 2010. Now, this is something that you've talked about before, and we've known people like this. And he says, I dropped it after the 1999 season.
Correct.
Seeing it all, and we'd won the lot, and I had a mortgage to pay. I couldn't afford to go in my 60s with these prices. I think my last season ticket was £420 in the K-stand. But going back to that first bit, dropping it after 99, you know a lot that dropped it after 99. Listen,
I know my fan culture. I know what it's like, you know, and I speak to people all the time. And I fully understand it. And I got that way myself after the 99. The euphoria was unbelievable. I was with Kieran. You know, it was just an unbelievable experience. And I've explained what happened on the day, especially when we scored and all that. But you've seen everything. So going around the country, watching United after the 99 game, where we won, we beat Bayern Munich in Barcelona, right? There was a deflation. And I go back to after we won it a couple of hours later, I was so flat. There was nothing in me. It had all come out. It had all gone. But that's the same with everyone else. They've seen everything. They've done everything. How can you get up and cheer and get ecstatic about something, right, where it's not on a par? You've seen it all. It's a lifetime's ambition to reach the top, and the top was reached. And there's only one way down as a fan, and that's down. Nothing will ever be the same after the 99, and a lot of people just couldn't get back up for it. So over about an 18-month period, people was dropping off, and obviously new fans were coming along. That was great, young fans, everything. So there's always a replacement with United. But when you've seen everything and done everything, you're bored out your head. And that's with anything in life. But with the football fan, you always have hope that you're going to do this, hope that you're going to do that. Well, you've seen it all. You spent 30, 40 years right? Trying to get to the top. You've done the top. Well, what's next? As the shopping on a Saturday. Simple as that.
Garden centres and all that.
Garden centres, the lot.
Lee from our members club. Hi lads, just caught you on a live stream for the first time in ages. Cheers, good to see you. Thanks for joining us, Lee, much appreciated, and everyone else out there. Stephanie says Rasmus needs a big finish now until the end of the season. Let's hope his form comes back as well for Europe.
Yeah, it's difficult for the kid. You know what I mean? He scored for Denmark the other night. That's good. That will boost his confidence and all that. But the thing is, the one good element about Rasmus Højlund is the team. The team over the last maybe 3-4 games have been producing chances. They've also been getting behind defences, which I've been screaming for, because he has had terrible service. He's not done himself any favours at times. But if you get behind the defenders and you cross the ball, Højlund will be there on many of the occasions. And the chances have come. He's been unlucky, not converting them. Disappointed with 1 or 2 efforts he's made, but he scored the other day. So all's good going forward if this team carries on producing the way. You know, I think the whole team itself will change over the next few months. You know, there's a bit of experimenting to be done. Players are out of position, playing in different positions. But for now, the chances are being created, and may it continue. And I think Højlund will go on a goal-scoring run.
Yeah, 10-4 from our members club says, hope the current generation get to experience the same journey in terms of the 99 season, you know, and a lot of the trophies that we did win over the years as well in the 90s, 2000s, etc. Because sometimes when I've got my lad sat down and he's with us, you know, you're telling him the stories of what it means to support your club through the highs and the lows and some of the great times we've had, and he looks at you sometimes as to say, you're talking nonsense, what you want about?
Yeah, but they've got to suffer the pain.
Yeah, they're suffering now, aren't they, compared to... Like, you've seen the good, the bad, also yourself. You've seen United get relegated. I've not seen that, but when I was growing up, all I ever known really was glory. Not that I'm a glory hunter, because I'm a supporter. I support my team through the bad times and the highs, but...
No, I enjoy people suffering the pain. Okay,
you're sick, aren't you?
No, I'm not sick. It's because I've suffered the pain. I've been on that journey, and that journey was a long, long time. And I think what it is, to enjoy the good times, you've got to have the bad times, and you've got to suffer the pain, and that makes it more enjoyable when the good times come. And I don't think football fans or people in life should be given things handed to them, handed on a plate. And I think the football fan has to go on a journey, and he has to understand the football club. He has to understand what's going on around him. But most of all, he has to understand the fan culture. He has to understand the fans, where they stick together and everything, regardless. And they're difficult times to keep your faith, to be honest with you. But if Manchester United's in your blood, your dad's told you you're a United fan from the moment you're born, that's it, you're away, and you're going to suffer. But I don't like people who just see everything from rose-tinted glasses. Everything's great. I've seen this, I've seen that. You've seen nothing until you've suffered. That's how I see it. That's how I've always seen it. And the great times, when they come, they're better than when you're just given the great times, because you don't know how to celebrate that feeling. You do not appreciate it inside, the feeling. When the good times come, at times it feels as though your heart's going to stop, and you're just going to stop breathing, because it's so painful to celebrate when the good times are there, and if it's just handed to you, you don't feel it the same. But that's my opinion, how I see it, and I think a lot of people in my generation are the same way, because they really, really suffered. They really suffered in the 70s and everything.
Danny Corbett says, greeting lads from Galway. Thanks for saving the weekend. Hate these international breaks, so do we. And I think everyone else out there in the chat and watching.
I don't enjoy them.
No, I don't enjoy them at all. I think there is a few games on tonight, isn't there? But
not interested.
I won't be watching them, I've got to be honest. Anything else to add, though?
No, you know, looking forward to tomorrow with the video we've done and that. So anyone out there, just take a look at that. That's all about fan culture and my the way I seen the 70s, and specifically one game. So really, I'm going to enjoy my night's sleep doing that. But I've just got to touch on, you know, the stadium, the conversation, people are just worried who's going to own the club, who's going to own it.
You mean the stadium, actually own the stadium?
Who's going to own the stadium? That's the conversation that no one's actually making it clear, because if, like, Colette Roach was in Cannes, that's the report I've seen, and we had the conversation about it. She's out there touting to raise money to build a stadium and that. Who's actually going to own it? So really, that's a question I'm going to leave with you. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't see anything out there, and people are confused and are worried about it.
Yeah, especially when they're looking at doing it in 5 years' time, maximum 7 years. And for me, I think the big question marks, you know, forget the stadium. I think they will be able to find funding for the stadium. This is Manchester United.
Yeah, but
brands will want to be involved with this football club. But for me, the big question marks are actually on the regeneration of the surrounding area. The government, I mean...
No, I fully understand what you're saying.
That side of things there, you know, is that going to happen? Can that happen? Is the funding there from the government? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's not the worry of Manchester United. That's the worry of the government.
Yeah.
But the main point I've been talking about, fully understand what you're saying, Kieran, right, is if they're going out there, this is what people are saying to me and they're worried about, if they're going out there to borrow money from certain quarters and companies or whoever it is, right, they're going to lend that money to build a stadium. Well, who is actually going to own it? Is it the people lending the money? If the money's not paid back, will it fall back on them? That's the question. I don't know the answer. There's been no proper discussions about it or anything like that. People might turn around and say, what are you talking about? You know, Ineos will buy it back and all that. Yeah, they might do. But what I'm saying is there's doubt out there of who actually will own it. Is there a chance that if there's a fault on the debt, who will it fall to? That's what I'm trying to get at, and that's what people were talking about.
Just to leave it on this one, I think it's the most randomest comment I've ever seen in the near enough 5 years of us doing this channel. Just to end on, Jeffrey Doyle. I'm in the shower with the two boys on the shelf here in Wicklow. So he's watching us in the shower. Make sure you don't slip in the shower, mate, and make sure you give yourself a good scrub. Fair
play. That must be some modern shower, but hey.
I like the dedication and keeping up with the channel, though, there, mate. Much appreciated.
Yeah, Webby and O'Neill are on live.
Webby and O'Neill in the shower. Yeah. Cheers, mate.
There you go. Well, the last time I was in the shower, I was using dog shampoo, but hey, way the things, so we've ended up on a shampoo competition again.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would say you're barking mad, but...
Yeah, you know, probably right.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Thought I'd just do your live video, just have a bit of a chat out there, get you involved today. Hopefully we will see you back on Tuesday with a live video. But like we mentioned earlier on, we have got that 1970s fan culture video coming up at 9 a.m. in the morning with my dad, where he looks at it through his eyes.
Members have watched it, haven't they?
Yeah, it's already been released on the members channel. So if you are a member, actually, and you've not actually caught up with that, it is actually out on there now. I've had huge feedback from everyone who's watched it on there. And yeah, I'd just like to say thank you, as usual, for everyone joining in. So see you at 9 a.m. in the morning for that chat. I actually do think I'm going to watch it myself, which I don't rarely do.
It is an eye-opener for fan culture and what people had to go through. So 9 o'clock in the morning, if you're not able to watch it at 9, make sure you watch it at some point tomorrow, because you will be pleasantly surprised at what went on. And my God, I can't wait for it. I might not even sleep tonight, but there you go. That's another sleepless night.
Well, you've definitely bigged it up, the video.
I bigged it up.
It better be a good video now.
The members bigged it up. The comments, what the members gave was unbelievable. Yeah. I've not seen comments like it.
That is a big statement.
I'm telling you.
Praise for this video.
I have not seen comments like it.
Yeah.
Right? The amount of comments and what they were saying was unbelievable. So I'll give everyone praise on that members, because mainly they were praising me.
Yeah. Don't surprise me.
I'm only joking.
He's not joking, trust me. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.